get a wet washcloth and take off this, take off your bits. I'll do it all.
Okay. Are you going to go find some rocks for their water?
I wouldn't know.
No. They need rocks because they need water. Hey YouTube, it's Michelle with Magnolia Grove Homestead. I had something super exciting happen today, and I'm sure by this setup you can tell what I'm talking about. We have a few baby chicks. These will be my first chicks ever. But I wanted to come to especially the new chick people and give you some information about how this whole process really goes, and then show you kind of what you need. So when I started thinking about getting chicks, I started looking at different more popular hatcheries and that kind of thing, and I am not knocking anybody in any way, shape, or form, I promise. I just didn't know the process worked like it works. So, for example, I went online to Murray McMurray Hatchery, and I looked at all the different breeds, and I looked at all their personalities and all the information there. I got the catalog, and then I went online to Meyer Hatchery, and I looked at all their different breeds, and I read all the information, and I went through and I picked out 9 different breeds, actually, that I was like really excited about, picking out names in my head, you know, stuff like that. And I clicked add to cart. Now, normally online shopping, when you click add to cart, that item is in your cart and you go pay for it, you get it the next week, maybe 2, right? Well, that's not the way it works with chicks. And I want to save you all from being disappointed and a little bit aggravated like I was. So I decided when I wanted to get chicks and start this whole chicken raising adventure, that I wanted my pet chickens or my egg layers, the girls that I was going to keep for a while, not the meat birds, but the girls that I was going to keep for a while, I wanted them to be good with my children. First of all. Second of all, lay a variety of colors of eggs. I want white and brown and green and blue and pink and, you know, the whole rainbow of eggs. And I wanted them to look neat. Like, I like the ones with the top hats, the Polish. I like the ones with the feathers on their feet. I fell in love with all these different breeds. And I picked one hen from 9 different breeds. And I get to my cart, and I'm like, okay, I had racked up like $150 worth of chick. And then it wanted me to click availability. So availability is something that you need to make sure you look at when you're looking to order chicks online from one of these larger, more well-known hatcheries. So availability means just because it's in your cart doesn't mean you're going to get it next week. Actually, out of the 9 breeds that I chose, I was only going to get 3 breeds before the end of April. The rest of them are not going to be available. I could get roosters, but I don't want to start with roosters. I really just want hens right now. And so I was just kind of irritated about that, and it's not anything wrong with Meyer Hatchery or Murray McMurray or any of those people. It was my own ignorance. I didn't realize that I should have been doing this ordering process like a while back. So I went to Tractor Supply. Now, when I first started looking at chicks, I was like, I don't want to go to Tractor Supply. I don't want one kind of breed. I don't want a whole bunch of just Rhode Island Reds that everybody has in their backyard kind of thing. I wanted some cool chicks. But I came to realize very quickly that that's not the way the process works. I did find a local hatchery, and we had to schedule an appointment, so I get to go there next Sunday evening. They have a few other breeds that I was looking at. and a few more different things than Tractor Supply has. Now, you can go on Tractor Supply's website, and you can order your chicks to be delivered, but you have to order 10 at a time, and I didn't want 10 of one breed. I don't want to go in too deep or get too many at one time. Like one of my friends, she texted me one day and said she had 4 chicks that she had picked up, and then next thing I know, I seen her today and she's got 60 chicks. Like, I don't want to be that person who just goes head over heels and gets all 10 of each breed just because, for the sake of having all the different breeds. But anyway, so I went to Tractor Supply. They were actually extremely helpful. I really liked dealing with them. The downfall to go on the Tractor Supply, especially this time of year, is that they only have one breed available, which is fine. I'm going to show them to y'all in just a minute. I think they're going to be adorable, and plus there's a couple other places that I can call around to every so often and maybe get some other breeds. And if not, I can always go to this place in Wake Forest in a couple weeks and see what they have available. So I think it's going to be fun. Like I said, I don't want a ton of chickens anyway, at least not to start. So the first thing, aside from knowing how this whole ordering process goes and how you're going to get your chicks and being prepared that if you're going to order from an online hatchery like that, you need to do it well in advance. You need to go ahead and say, hey, I want 5 golden laced wide nets this week, okay? Because if you don't go ahead and put your name in the hat for those, you're not going to probably get them. At least not by the time you wanted them. I mean, I wanted chicks like now. So, and that's not the way it works. So now that we've got that covered, we need to go over kind of what you need. Now, you can start out your brooder. This is your brooder. So you're playing mama hen. This is the heat source. Like if they were born out on the farm and their mama brooded them or hatched them, you know, and they hatched under the mama, they would stay underneath the mama to stay warm and all that good stuff and come out to eat, drink, and then go back under mama to stay warm. Well, that's why this is called a brooder. Now, this particular thing is like a feeding trough. It's not necessarily marketed to be a brooder. There are people who start chicks out in storage totes or kiddie pools or whatever, but the thing that you need to know is that as they grow, they're going to need bigger space. So I wanted to go ahead and get one and done kind of thing. That is just what I wanted to do. I don't want to be fooling with moving them up into something different all the time. Plus, when we're not having chicks in here, we can use this for anything else out here. So I got this huge galvanized trough. It was $95, I think, at Tractor Supply today. I already had my heat lamp, but you want to make sure that you have a heat lamp. You can use this kind of heat lamp. They also have those like square trays that the chicks can walk in, and you can raise the level up as the chicks grow, and to kind of help keep their warmth needs balanced. I didn't invest in that. And then inside of the brooder, you need some sort of shavings. I got these bigger pine shavings. I talked to the lady at Tractor Supply, and she said that she recommends this bigger size shaving. If you can get like a finer shaving, you can get cedar, although I've heard that can lead to disease in chicks. I don't know. It can cause respiratory illness, apparently. I don't know that for sure. But that's why I got pine, and that's why I got the thicker shaving. She said that the smaller, finer ones you will be cleaning like all the time. This keeps you from cleaning it out quite as much. But you want to take your shavings and just coat the bottom. You want to put them, I don't know, probably about that deep in there. So we'll go ahead and do that. Maybe if I can get it open. And this bag should last as long as I need it to in the house until they go outside. Alright. So I'm going to spread this out across the bottom of the brooder. Alright. And then you need to make sure that you have feeders. So they need feed. The lady at Tractor Supply recommended this kind. She said this is what she uses. You put the feed in here. The chick comes up and pecks and gets it out of there. This is similar to one that I've seen in a lot of other videos, although it's not exactly the same. This is the kind that Tractor Supply had where the top flap, it twists and rotates that way. It's supposed to help keep the chicks from sitting up here and pooping in their food. Although I will say that I am not too sure about this. The more I think about it, the more I think about maybe it being a little too sharp. It might hurt their little feet. So I'm not going to put it in there yet. I'm going to do a little bit more research. I was hoping that they would have the ones like they have at Murray McMurray or Meyer Hatchery. You can order them from their website. But they're about this big, but they're red and they're plastic. And then the spinning part has 4 different things instead of just like a flat thing. It's like this. So it seems like that would help better. Their feed, I don't want anybody to beat me up over this, okay? I'm new to chickens. I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying this is wrong, but I'm saying this is what we're going to do. These chicks that came from Tractor Supply have not been vaccinated against anything. And so I went ahead and got the medicated feed, which will help prevent intestinal disease and that kind of thing in the chicks to start out. They have unmedicated. If you choose not to medicate your chicks, that's totally fine. That's your choice. But I chose the medicated just because I want to ward off any problems. I'm brand new to chicken raising. I don't know if I would even know that there's a problem or how to figure out what it is without sitting down doing a ton of research. And that takes time away from being able to take care of my chicks. So to try to prevent sick chicks, I got the medicated feed. And then I also got this grit that will go in here, not the first couple days, probably after about 2 days, I'll start introducing a little bit of grit, and that just helps them to break down their food. In a chicken, that's how they break down their food. They need hard things in their crawl. And finally, I got this 3-in-1 Hydro Hen. So this is a powder that you pour. You mix 1 scoop with a gallon of water, and this has probiotics, electrolytes, and acidifiers that you mix into their water. And it just helps get them off to a good start. They've been through a lot. They have been transported and all this stuff, and so they're probably very stressed, very worn out. So this just helps them get off to a good start. So that is all you need to start out. Now I did grab some hardware cloth, and we are going to take some of that hardware cloth, cut out a rectangle piece, and put it over the top of the brooder at some point, just to make sure that when they start flying, they can't fly up. And plus my dogs come in at night, y'all, so I don't want my dogs getting in here and messing with them while I'm asleep. So I'm going to put some hardware cloth, like a lid on here, that still they can breathe out of, but the dogs won't be able to get to, and they won't be able to fly out. And you need your waterer. So when they're this small, this is about a quart size waterer. And then in the bottom, the kids are outside now looking for rocks out in the driveway. So you want to line the inside with rocks or marbles, one of the two, so that they don't get down in there and drown themselves. The chicks just came out of a warm, wet yolk, and so when they get into water, they kind of feel like, ooh, you know, this is wet, this is what I was in, this is what I'm used to, and they want to get down in there, but they can drown themselves, or they can get too cold because they got wet. So, without further ado, I want to talk to y'all about the chicks that I got. So at Tractor Supply today, I told y'all they only had one breed of chick, and these chicks are Golden Comet chicks. So they are not a pure breed. They are actually a hybrid, and they were bred to be good egg layers. So these chicks should start laying brown eggs within 16 weeks. And they should lay between 5 or 6 eggs a week for the next year or two, which is good, but that's not the only reason I got them though. I went ahead and picked out these Golden Comet chicks because I immediately thought of the Golden Girls. Now, I told y'all I wasn't going to get a lot of any breed, but I ended up getting 4 of these because I just couldn't resist the urge to call them the Golden Girls. So without further ado, I want y'all to meet my new Golden Girls. They're like, what are you doing, lady? Well, you're over here asleep. All right. This little girl is gonna be named Blanche. She's mouthy. I was riding in the car and I had the music playing and I could just hear this one chick. So I opened up the box and this little lady likes to talk. So her name is gonna be Blanche. Now when you get a new chick, you want to make sure that they don't have any poop on their butt that's blocking them from getting rid of their waste. And you want to take them, cup them in your hand where they feel nice and safe and warm and you have control over them. And just gently sit them over in here. She's like, what is that? All right. So we met Blanche. This one we're going to call Rose because I just think that she is the cutest little thing. Look at her little feathers. I don't even know, are they really called feathers yet? Hey, Rose. Hey. She looks so sweet. We got Blanche, and we got Rose. This one is Miss Dorothy. This one is Dorothy because she's taller than the rest of them. So I figured that fit. You got the longer legs. Yeah. And last but not least, we have little Sophia. Sophia seems like she's a little bit smaller than the rest of them. So I figured that name fit her. Hey. She's like, what in the world? So, I'm going to go grab them some water real quick because I didn't fill up this water because the kids are still out getting rocks. But I'm going to put some water in here. And then I'm going to take each chick and dip their beak into the water. That way they'll know where their water is. And then in an hour, I'll put the feed in there. But for the first hour, I'm only going to let them have water with that electrolyte stuff. So, I don't claim to be a chicken expert. I told y'all this is my first time. Although I have sat in front of videos and internet resources and everything for hours and hours and hours and prepared myself for this so that I wouldn't just be willy-nilly going to Tractor Supply, grabbing some chicks and bringing them home and saying, oh, what do I do with them? So if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask, and if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer. If you have any recommendations or things that you do differently, let me know, or any other products that you use and whatnot. I am super excited to have these chicks. I cannot wait to go get some more different kind and reveal the names that I've had in my head for all these different kinds of chicks to y'all as I get them, which I'm coming to find out might be a little bit of a search. So anyway, until I see y'all again, have a good day and God bless.